Technology today is advancing at warp speed, with new and exciting innovations springing up each day. But these innovations didn't come out of thin air. No. Most of them are an amalgamation of several different breakthroughs in the fields of science and technology from this past decade. So to celebrate and usher in a new decade, I thought it prudent that we discuss the 10 biggest breakthroughs humanity have made in the past 10 years. Now before we continue, I'd like you all to know I make new videos on Sundays. Today is special considering it's the last day of the year, so it's the only time I'll post on Tuesday. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like or a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more interesting stuff about the future. Before we begin, I want to clarify that the technological and scientific breakthroughs I'll be mentioning are my personal picks and will certainly vary with yours at some point. So if you feel there were some things more pertinent which occurred in the last 10 years, please tell us in the comment section. Number 1. In 2010, a research team from the Craig Venter Institute successfully produced the first self-replicating synthetic bacterial cell using only chemicals and a computer in a lab. This bacterial cell, called Mycoplasma mycoides, was the proof of a principle that genomes could be designed and made on a computer and transplanted into a recipient cell to produce a new self-replicating cell controlled only by the synthetic genome. So how would this be useful? Well, a synthetic organism could be designed to produce drugs, biofuels, or chemicals which cannot be readily found in nature, and that is a pretty big deal. Number 2. In 2011, the Allen Institute for Brain Science unveiled the world's first human brain map, providing an interactive research tool intended to help scientists understand the brain. Since then, the brain map has been extensively improved due to the work of thousands of scientists around the world. Given how complex the human brain is, tools like these are the only way we'll eventually be able to learn about its secrets. Number 3. In 2012, scientists at Northwestern University in Chicago successfully bypassed the spinal cord of test monkeys and restored fine motor control to their paralyzed limbs using a brain-computer interface. Before this time, the only prosthetics were those pre-programmed with a basic set of actuations that were triggered by small muscle movements in non-paralyzed muscles. Just as we've discussed in my video on brain-computer interfaces, these devices will not only be useful in helping us regain the use of lost limbs, but are also the key to us becoming one with the digital world that surrounds us. Number 4. In 2013, the world's first plant-based artificial egg went on sale in the US. Beyond Eggs used a mixture of 11 plants, including peas and beans, to recreate the versatility of the real thing. If you keep up with the trends, you will likely have heard of plant-based meats. But before fake meat was all the craze, Beyond Eggs were the first to tinker with plant proteins in a bid to provide an alternative to natural eggs. Number 5. Before 2014, our largest available storage size for microSD cards was 64 gigabytes. Yeah, just 5 years ago. But in the following months that year, the first 128GB microSD card had been announced, and sometime that same year, the company SanDisk revealed the world's first 512GB SD card. Number 6. On the 14th of September 2015, the first ever direct observation of gravitational waves was made. Before now, gravitational waves had only been inferred indirectly via their effect on the timing of pulsars in binary star systems. For those who don't know, pulsars are highly magnetized rotating neutron stars that emit beams of electromagnetic radiation out of their magnetic poles. And just to be sure that the readings were correct, the waveforms from the gravitational waves were recorded by 2 independent observatories. This was a remarkable accomplishment because efforts to directly prove the existence of such waves had been ongoing for over 50 years, and the waves are so minuscule that Albert Einstein himself doubted that they could even be detected. Number 7. In April 2016, SpaceX became the first space company to land one of their rocket booster stages on a floating drone ship. This demonstrated that just about every part of a rocket could be recovered and reused, not just on Earth, but in future missions to Mars and the Moon. Number 8. In 2017, researchers demonstrated a 3D printer which could print fully functional human tissue using human cells and human-derived proteins. Since then, they've expanded its capabilities, allowing it to print even complex organs. One of said bioprinters was sent up to space this year to see the effects of microgravity on printed tissue, and this experiment will carry on till sometime in 2024, with the eventual goal of allowing astronauts print replacement organs in deep space. Number 9. On the 1st of May 2018, a large-scale collaborative research project known as the Genome Project Right announced a 10-year initiative in an attempt to make human cells immune to all viral infections, and ultimately to allow us not only understand the blueprint of life, but also to write it ourselves. They hope to achieve this by synthesizing and testing the genomes of many different species of microbes, plants, and animals, including the human genome. So if we're ever going to see superhumans in the future, it's likely going to be a byproduct of the data gained from this project. Or at least I think so. Number 10. 2019. The final year of what has been an amazing decade. But I'm afraid there's a lot we have to be worried about this year and going forward into the next decade. Cybercrime is at an all-time high, with dangerous tools in the hands of anonymous individuals, allowing them steal not just our data or finances, but our very identities as well. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change also published a report this year, in which they concluded that sea levels could rise by up to 2 feet higher by the year 2100, even if efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to limit global warming are successful. So yeah, there's unfortunately not a lot of good news to take into the next decade. But the optimist in me thinks that we will eventually put aside our petty differences and find a way to help each other and our planet. Why do I think we will? Well, simply because our future depends on it. Anyways, I hope you all had a very awesome Christmas and a happy new year as well. Thank you.